I'm Suzanne from Rogers Gardens, and today we're going to be talking about the Itoh peonies. So people will come into Rogers Gardens, usually early in the year, February, and they will see these beautiful containers with the Itoh peonies. And they think, peonies, can we grow those in Southern California? And the answer is yes. Toichi Itoh spent a lot of time cultivating these, making them just perfect for our Southern California weather. They can take the heat of summer as it comes on. They're going to, like other peonies, they're going to go a little bit dormant come, after June. They'll have a little greenery, and then eventually by the end of summer they will be gone. And then you can just cut them back. You'll see the little red nubs at the bottom of the plant, and that's what you're going to leave. So Itoh peonies don't look like the other peonies that you have seen, but they do have their own unique beauty. And once you kind of get used to it, the beauty is it's really kind of contagious, it's overwhelming, and each year you might want to get a different color. I just have really fallen in love with them. I have some in my garden, and I can tell you they are very strong. They do come back every year, and each year they get a little bit bigger, a little bit brighter. The blooms are just so fantastic. So I urge you to try these peonies in your garden. One of the things that you'll notice about the Itoh peonies is the wide range of colors. We have the beautiful, beautiful Cora Louise, which is a pale, pale, pale pink. It kind of fades to almost a white, a creamy white. It is so pretty, and this flower is just starting to open up. You'll see again, once the plants get established, the blooms get bigger and stronger, and they really are like a store peony. We also have this one. It is called Julia Rose, and oh my gosh, just the color, the way that they start a little bit deeper pink and then they open up, and then the little seed pods inside here are just so pretty. They are great cut flowers. They are great for your vases. We also have these really beautiful yellow ones. This is Keiko. It has a million petals. It is so beautiful. Try and think of yellow as like a new color to put into your garden for this sort of thing. And a couple of years ago, I got a deep magenta pink called Belle Toulousaine. I'm hoping for those to come back next year because they are fantastic. The blooms are just so big, just like what you'd find at the florist or something. They're just a little different look. These peonies are a cross between a tree peony and an herbaceous peony, and so they really are unique for our area, and I'm going to tell you how to plant them right now. So in early spring, when we get these containers in, they're very small, just little teeny tuber nubs sticking out of the container, but they grow very quickly into these tall plants. One of the really neat things about these peonies is that they're very bronze colored as they're coming out, so you get a lot of color even before you get the blooms. Then of course you have this beautiful green. You'll see the beautiful buds that come. They're about an inch or two tall and wide, and of course the flowers come. You're going to plant them in your soil if you like. I mean, we'll talk about pots in just a minute, but you can plant them directly into the soil as long as you remember that they are there and try not to dig them up during the year. You'll plant them in your regular garden soil. If you need to amend it with a little compost, they do like a good soil, but they like a draining soil, especially because in the winter when they are dormant, you don't want that water sitting there because the tubers could rot out. So once the flower is done, what you can do is take this stem, you're going to cut it right down here, and then you're going to have this beautiful seed pod. Now, here's the thing. You could let this seed pod dry out on the plant and try some of the seeds from an Itoh peony plant are not viable, but some are. So if you're into it, go on YouTube, learn how to propagate your Itoh peony seeds and try, because it's a good way to save some money and have a lot more peonies. Itoh peonies will bloom for about 4 weeks. That's really cool, and it's a very long bloom time for peonies. But what you want to do is, if you want more blooms, you're gonna take your peonies, you're gonna cut them when they look absolutely gorgeous, put them in a vase inside, and it's going to help the plant get a little bit more energy and maybe send out a few more blooms in June. This is awesome. I mean, these flowers, okay, I know a lot of you are saying, oh, it doesn't look like a peony, but this is the new peony. This is what we want. This is gorgeous in our garden. And I'm gonna tell you, when you put them into the ground, just give them a little morning sun. They can take a lot more sun than you would think, but they're gonna bloom slower and they're gonna bloom better with a little bit of afternoon shade. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about how to plant them and everything, but here's how you take care of them. They're very, very easy. If you want to keep your peony in a pot, at some sort of container, that's really great. You want to just give it a pot that's large enough for its root system. They're actually a pretty big root system, so don't try and keep it in the pot like this unless you're buying it right now. When you buy them and they look like this, enjoy them for a while, let them kind of go away, and then plant them in your container. For some people, like if you don't like that kind of dormant look, you can push it aside. You can put it in kind of like a shady area, and then the peonies will come out again, you know, in February. You can just pull them out of the side next to your garage or something, put them back out, and then they'll just start growing again. They really are super easy. You're gonna wanna fertilize them probably like in February, March, and then when you start seeing those buds, give them another hit of fertilizer, and then at the end of the summer, one more. And when I say fertilize, I want you to use an organic fertilizer because it's a very slow release. These plants really enjoy just a nice slow release. They don't need to be pushed. They're kind of, you know, because they're a tuber, they're like a bulb, like a dahlia, which is also a tuber. But you know, you have things like daffodils and things like that. They know what to do. They send the energy out and then they pull that energy right back. As long as they're fertilized, they're gonna do really well the next season. So whether you put them in the ground or in a pot, you wanna have really good draining soil. It's really important to keep the tubers kind of moist, but they don't wanna sit in water. They can rot pretty easily. And another thing, the Itoh peonies, they're a little dear. They can be a little expensive, so you really want to take good care of them. Sometimes here we'll sell the tubers very early in the season with our bulbs and things like that, but for the most part, you're going to buy them in a 5-gallon container and they are ready to go. So I hope I helped you learn a little bit about Itoh peonies. I would love for you to give them a shot in your garden. Southern California gardening, we have a tendency to really like color year round, but I love to see the seasons ebb and flow with deciduous trees and spring flowers and fall color. You can do this, and this is a great way to have that spring look in your garden. I would love to invite you to come to rogersgardens.com for all of your shopping needs. We have so much information there, so many blogs, things you can buy, gifts you can send, but also we have our Facebook, we have Instagram, and of course our YouTube channel that you can subscribe to, and you can watch all of our videos there and learn everything you need to know about home and garden.